Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. We'll start off with your 10-day takeaways. First one that's not on here, if you can't hear it already, it is basement cricket season here in the Midwest. So I've got some chirping behind me. If the crickets are not impressed with the forecast here, maybe you will be. First thing, though, of note, we're moving to Wednesdays. A couple of you have noticed the absence here over the last 10 days or so. Couple of reasons going into this. I'm going to start doing the forecast videos here on Wednesday mornings going forward every week. We've got a lot of holidays between the US and Canada that fall on Mondays and kind of interrupt the schedule, push things around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it simply does not. If we move things to Wednesday, this clears things up for me a lot. So I kind of liked the idea of setting the table for the coming week. It kind of takes that away, but we'll talk about the next 7 to 14 days here with these Wednesday morning updates. So what we've got right now, a couple of big storm systems coming. Multiple chances for some heavy rain across portions of the prairie and in the form of some wide swaths of heavy rain. So moving away from this summer pattern that really focuses on isolated areas of heavy rainfall with a lot of folks missing out, we'll finally get some broad brush precipitation across the area. And as we do that, we're looking for some early cold air to follow these systems, and there isn't a lot of that at this point. So temperatures remaining on the mild side overall over the next 10 to 14 days as we kind of look out on the horizons. No big early signs of big cold coming in. Now, as we look at current temperatures here, generally in the upper teens to the the upper single digits to the lower teens across the area. You can find some middle to upper teens across portions of Manitoba as you head off to the east where it's a little bit more mild. Radar here on Wednesday morning. Got some showers north of Calgary in the Red Deer area. Also some showers drifting into southern portions of Saskatchewan this morning. Maybe getting some of those showers working into southern portions of Manitoba as we get in the next 12 to 18 hours as well. Now, the last 7 days, it's been quite dry. Over the last 7 to 14 days plus in some areas, it's been quite dry as these systems have just kind of missed us. We've seen persistent high pressure overhead across western North America. Now, that pattern's going to begin to break down. That's good news. We've got widespread extreme fire weather conditions out there, so be cautious as you're getting started with some of these field activities. With the drier weather here, it is easier to get some of those fires started, so we just want to be aware of that. Be smart. Don't be parking, hot machinery over some dry combustibles, that kind of thing. No open flames in some of these cases here, too, where we get some breezier, milder conditions. Now, again, big changes on the way. We got heavy rain coming in the form of 2 to 3 storm systems over the next 10 to 12 days. We'll talk about the timing here in just a moment. Now, I can say that the early push here over the next 72 to 96 hours, taking us through the weekend, a lot of the precipitation focused on portions of Alberta into western Saskatchewan. So just about everyone has the chance for some rain over the next 5 days. But the first system, a lot of guidance kind of lifting that one up along the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. And then as we add in the rest of next week, so this takes us all the way into Friday, September 20th, we get another couple of storm systems that lift into the region with more in the way of widespread chances for some rain. There are a lot of crickets chirping around me, so I apologize here. We have this snoozing soundtrack with my forecast update here. I'm not going to be insulted here, but geez aloo. All right, here we go. This is the pattern change that we're talking about. So we look at things right now. I can see a frog out I'm sorry, it is nature right now. I'm going to take away the distractions. I got a frog out the window right now and crickets chirping all around me. Here's high pressure that's being pushed out by this big trough that's going to be digging into western portions of North America. It'll be reinforced by a couple of systems that ride over the top of a ridge in the Pacific. So here you go. Just kind of rebuilding this area of upper level low pressure over the next 7 to 10 days. It's not permanent. It's not going to stick with us through the entirety of the month of September, but for the next 10 to 14 days or so, got the chance for multiple rounds of heavy rain across the region. The jet stream winds that are following this, again, you see the higher speeds rotating around the base of that trough. That's kind of storm system number 1 as it lifts into the area here over the weekend. Here comes the next push as we get into the early and middle part of next week, and then we kind of keep the pattern going until we get to next weekend, early into week 2. So the precipitation forecast that follows all of this, we are dry to get started here, except for those areas of kind of isolated showers for our Wednesday. We'll take it into Wednesday night, into Thursday. Now we start to see the first area of low pressure organizing and lifting into the area. So a rainy Thursday for a lot of folks in Alberta and Saskatchewan. This one continues to lift up into Thursday night. This is now Friday early morning, still raining on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, maybe a bit breezy too, with northerly winds coming in on the back side of that. Not a lot of cold air, but maybe some breezier, rainier conditions Thursday and Friday across these areas. Isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder across southern Manitoba as we get into Friday, kind of along what would be the cold front on this storm system, the area of low pressure continuing to lift north as well. as we get into Saturday morning. So a bit of a break here then Saturday into Sunday, but we reload as we get into the early to middle part of the week. You see here kind of Saturday, Sunday, Monday, some very isolated areas of rain showers, so not everyone going to be completely quiet and dry for the weekend. But the next big storm system organizes and lifts into the area Tuesday next week. That would be September 17th and 18th, this one bringing some more in the way of widespread precipitation. So Wednesday, September 18th into Thursday, September 19th, storm system number 2 lifts into the area. We will, of course, have a chance to talk about that with our next Wednesday update on the 18th of September. So it's likely a week from today we're talking about a big area of low pressure lifting into the area, some precipitation associated with that. We'll get into Thursday night, Friday, September 20th now, looking for another system to kind of come in on the back side there. So using the European Ensemble models here, couple of different things, both of these the next 10 days. So both maps through September 20th. On the left, the chance of more than half an inch of rainfall. On the right, the chance of more than 1 inch of rainfall over the next 10 days. And the red shading here, that's where we're north of 90% chance here. So pretty good chance that we're going to see more than half an inch of rain across much of central and southern Alberta, getting into Saskatchewan, and then, 70-ish% chance across the rest of the prairie for that half an inch of rain. When we take it over to an inch or more, southern Alberta, western Saskatchewan, really good chance we're going to see more than an inch of rain over the next 10 days. And then across the entirety of the prairie, we're still talking about a 40 to 50% chance here. So a really good chance of some widespread heavier rains. As you get further north, Peace River, Grand Prairie, you may be, missing out here, but you're probably not the most desperate for rain across those areas as, we are compared to areas across southern portions and central portions of the prairie where it's been much more dry over the last 30 days. One more way to look at this, the European model just kind of, a smoothed out, broader look at where and how much rain we're expecting over the next 10 days. And we're certainly talking about 50 millimeters or more across much of southern Alberta, western Saskatchewan, and then looking at, 25 millimeters or more across a lot of the prairie. Now those temperatures, again, this time of year, we're looking for cold air to be pulled in on the backside of these early storm systems. We just don't have a lot of cold air off to the north. So a couple of high impact storms, but higher impact on the precipitation side. Not a lot of cold air to the north to be linked with these. So while certainly it'll be cooler, cloudier with these rainy days, not a lot of signs we're going to see an early push of cold air across the prairie. So this is what your next 10 days look like. You see some of the cooler days there. Thursday, tomorrow, it's going to be rainy in Calgary, only a high of 12 degrees, but we shoot back up to 19 on Friday and 20 on Saturday on the back side of the storm system. So not a lot of cold air coming in on the back, just cooler on the days that it's cloudy and rainy. Edmonton, similar look here. Saskatoon, you see the same thing, just a little bit cooler here late week as that rain moves through, rebounding though to a mild weekend. Regina, similar look, highs in the mid to upper 20s for much of the week other than the days that it's raining. Winnipeg, you too are on the mild side, especially Thursday, a high of 38, mid to upper 20s.